What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Welcome to another edition of Dangle Bet Selly with Chris Meaney and Eric Young here with you for the next little bit. 13 games on the ice tonight in the NHL for Thursday, November 17th. The show brought to you by Game Plus Network, PointsBet Canada, powered by FTN right here on our FTN Network YouTube page. If you're watching live, smash that like button. You have any comments, any questions, leave them there. Season-long betting, anything. We will get to them before the show is over. And if you're watching the replay, you can leave them in the comment section. Always circling back on these videos just to make sure some plays, that we liked, if anything changes, scratches, line movement, things like that. Always circling back to take care of you guys. Also available on iTunes and Spotify. If you could rate, review, subscribe, give EY and I 5 stars. It would go a long way in just having this show available for more people. 5. Just like 5 times 5. Over under 25 goal scorers from me tonight with 13 games on the slate.
We could be here all day. First things first, I want to shout out our boy, Tro Noack. He's in the chat all the time. He's making bets. Yeah. I mean, he's got the yellow page. Columbus loses everybody. Then they lose their starting goaltender, and he's ready for them to go on a tear. I want to live with Troy in a studio apartment in Columbus, Ohio. Go to all the games, watch all the games on our big screen TV, sleep on an air mattress, and just talk about hockey all day. I love you, Troy, and your blind love for the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's
Dude,
awesome.
They are well on their way. Man, Troy, get yourself a Connor Bedard jersey immediately. Order it right now. Don't even worry about drinks in it. It's going to happen. I'd love to go to the game with you tonight. I would rock this.
Little
gold Caulfield for the
I'll be rocking this one tonight. Nashville's Stadium Series, Yakov Trenin. I'm the only person other than maybe an immediate family member that has this jersey, and I'm proud. The crowning achievement of my life is I was in a wrestling group called Violent by Design. I had these cool shirts made up, and it said, "I am Violent by Design." They're super cool. I sent them. You met my buddy, Brandon. He got us down in the Bell Center, and we got to hang out with some of the players after the game. It was awesome. Yeah. And
awesome.
I sent him to them. And I talked to Colton Sissons. I've talked to Trennan. He doesn't speak great English, but I kind of know them a little bit. And Taylor Chanot. And at the time, a Columbus Blue Jacket, Matt Olivier. There's a really cool picture. I have it somewhere. I'll share it on Twitter later today of them wearing "I Am Violent by Design" t-shirts during the playoff run. Nice. Super cool, man. But yeah,
everyone knows that. Everyone knows here on the show that you're a big deal. You are a big deal. You play it off as if you're not, but you are. And I'm always.
If you're a wrestling fan, I could be a big deal for sure.
You're a big deal. Yes, you're a big deal. And if you're a hockey fan, you're a big deal for the hockey people out there. You've shown people that you are a true hockey psycho, like Troy, like Emmerich in the house. Loves the Goudreau call, right?
Oh, yeah.
The revenge
we cashed on that one, didn't we, bud?
Cashed on that one. That was fantastic. But one thing I noticed, when you took me down below the Bell Center and we met some of those players, we were having conversations with like Yossi and Arvidsson and Pekka Rinne, is that, trust me, guys, EY is a big deal. Like for you, you were kind of like, whoa, like these hockey players. And they were like, whoa, we got like the wrestling guy here. And they loved you and all of it. So it's a nice relationship you have with the Preds, and that was a really cool story.
Yeah, it's super cool, man. My job has opened a ton of doors for me, and the hockey door that it opened for me is one of my favorites. I'm very good friends with Mike Fisher. I know Yossi very well. Johansson, I knew Ellis a little bit. Tons of the guys on the team, tons of the people in the Scotty Nickel, the assistant GM, is a very good friend of mine. Stu Grimson, that does did play-by-play here and is now with the NHL Network, is a very good friend of mine. So it's opened a ton of doors. I don't abuse it, but I take advantage of it any chance I get. And I mean, in the end, like I wanted to play in the NHL, and very early in high school, I realized that was not real. I'm a terrible hockey player, and transitioned into my next love. My first love really is pro wrestling. So, but yeah, it was super cool. It was cool to share that with you and Deanna and we had Sarah there. And that was just before the whole world went to the toilet.
The day after, on the drive back to Toronto from Montreal, they announced that there was a pandemic, and then immediately the NHL went on pause thanks to Rudy Gobert. It wasn't all his fault, but I digress. Okay, let's get into it. 13 games on the ice tonight. We got to get after it. There's a couple lopsided games. We have a couple really intriguing matchups.
People are still going to score goals in those.
Absolutely. The Devils are looking for their 11th straight win in Toronto. We'll get to that in a little bit. We have, two massive favorites here. The Vegas Golden Knights up against Arizona. I think they're like minus 400 favorites. We'll get into that one a little bit later on. And then we'll start here with the other big favorite, the Boston Bruins and the Philadelphia Flyers. This game happening at TD Garden in Beantown. And the Bruins, as I mentioned, are massive favorites here, minus 315 over at Bet Rivers. But I'm seeing DK's hanging minus 340, FanDuel minus 365. Our friends at PointsBet minus 365 as well. The Flyers checking in at plus 285. We have a goal total here of 6. So your boy Carter Hart has been playing really well. He has to play really well because ultimately this is still a team in Philly that they've rattled off some wins. They're getting some contributions from, Travis Konecny's having a fantastic season. Owen Tippett's been a shot prop darling for us. You think he's hit in 8 of his last 9. Off the top of my head, it's just one game he hasn't hit over the past couple of weeks. But the Flyers allow a lot, man. Like they're second in the NHL in shot attempts allowed at 5 and 5 per 60. They are inside the top 10 in shots allowed, so they're blocking a few shots. Goals against, they're not as high as you would expect because you look at the expected goals against, and they are top 4 in the NHL because that, again, is part to your boy Carter Hart, who's been really good, and they allow a lot of high danger chances, top 5. I think they get smoked tonight. I think it's it. They get crushed tonight in Boston. The perfection line is back together. Pasternak, Marchand, Bergeron. It's going to be hard to stop those guys. I think we'll see some goals tonight from the Boston Bruins. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, Boston is elite, right? Right at the time when they kind of should be falling off, they lose some key players. The goaltending is kind of a question mark. Nope, just kidding. Linus Ullmark is the best goalie in the NHL.
Sabres should have kept him.
Yeah, yep. Krejci comes back from Siberia or wherever he was. Pavel Zacha is playing his best hockey. Charlie Coyle is an absolute stud.
He is.
The Boston Bruins are just a model franchise. I mean, players go there when they're languishing and they're just floating and they're just, not hitting their potential. As soon as they put on that jersey, there's a chip on their shoulder. They're forechecking, playing physical. They're kind of irritating. Those are hard teams to play against. And then they've got skill. Marchand, for all the other stuff, he's still one of the most skilled players in the NHL. David Pasternak is one of the most gifted goal scorers, and Patrice Bergeron may be the most complete player in the NHL for the last 10 years. So it's good luck having those guys back together. DeBrusk has been having a great year. I got him to score at plus 185, and Marchand. They didn't give us Pasternak at plus odds, so I'm not betting on him, although he very easily could score. You could put it in a parlay with some other negative guys, maybe Austin Matthews or someone like that. But I've got Marchand at 115, Konechny at plus 250. He's been shooting the lights out.
He has been.
If you're going to get plus anything for him, I'm going to bet on him to score. And this is a real fantasy hockey psycho poll. But Noah Cates is playing on the second line and playing on the top power play. And he's plus 450. I did not stutter. Plus 450. He's going to be on the ice, guys, with really good players. I don't know who Noah Cates is. I don't know if he's a good player, but he's playing up the lineup. I mean, Tortorella will do this, but he's playing second line and top power play. He can
get an opportunity
quite easily. So
that's all you can really ask for.
That's the day.
Adam Redkip in the house, along with Troy, as we mentioned. We did say it off the top. We'll get to Troy in a second, a little bit, but yeah, our boys are here. I'm back, baby. Took a couple days off. Let's go. Adam Szymanski in the house. What are we thinking about Konechny and Tippett? Auto bet them, but the Bees matchup has them hesitant, and that's the thing, right? We're seeing
bet Tippett. He was taken off that top power play, and he's a rookie, and John Tortorella, he doesn't trust him. He never has.
I know. I was super scared the other day when we gave his shot prop. I'm going to write a free article over at ftnbets.com. Oh, a couple things since we're on this topic. So ftnbets.com, I'll write an article every Tuesday and Thursday with my favorite 3 picks. Been doing pretty good on that article. I think I'm 16-6. So hopefully we can keep that up. But also we have Adam and Troy and Emmerich and some of the people in the house, both Adams, Szymanski and Renkamp, who are part of the FTN family. Tyler, if you want to bring up the graphic that we have, ftnbets.com/free. Just wanted to get this off the top. Free 3-day trials. No real excuse. Hang out with us for 3 days. We're going to give a lot of picks on the show. We're going to give a lot of picks, every Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to give all the picks for free. Mean Streets, we're giving picks as well, but you're going to get everything over at ftnbets.com. All of our picks across all sports. You got projections tools, Discord channel. So hang out for the 3 days. You got football this weekend. Today's a good time to actually sign up because you got 13 games on the ice. You got college basketball and things that are going to happen on Friday and Saturday. College sports, you're going to get the NFL picks. We'll start to have NFL props, circle in on, Friday afternoon. We'll get some of those picks up too. So you have three days, right? You have today, Friday, and Saturday to get those free picks. And if you like what we have to offer, then you can hang out with us for like a month or a year, whatever you want. Promo code Meaney to save yourself a little bit of cash. And then ftndaily.com for some people that are getting into DFS. We've had a lot of green screens. It seems that people want some money yesterday. And Kenneth Lee's article is already live over at ftndaily.com. And my goodness, that guy is a beast. He is a former FSWA Fantasy Hockey Writer of the Year, and for good reason. We're super thrilled to have him part of the family. He's writing articles for us 3 days a week. I am taking the other couple days, and we have some guys contributing on weekends and stuff as well. Griffin Swanson is an absolute stud. Javi Perlezzo as well. So free trials across the board. Meant to say that off the top. My bad. We'll get back into wrapping up here with the Bruins. So yeah, I'm a little hesitant to roll. The Tippett thing I mentioned is we gave him last week, and he was -5 in the game. He ended up with 3 shots, but I was super nervous that he was just going to get benched because he was -5 halfway through the game. So I think if you're taking one of these guys, Tippett is plus money. I'm not going to go that way with him because of what you said. I'm a little concerned with the line movement. He has been shooting, though. He's been pretty productive, getting an opportunity here. But I think we ride this out with Travis Konechny. Like, he was 3.5 the other day, and he had 5 shots. He's had at least 4 shots in 3 straight games. He's had at least 3 shots in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his last 9 games. So, yeah, this is a tough matchup. The Bruins don't give up a whole lot, but he is going to play anywhere from 19 to 21 minutes in this game. If he gets a power play or 2, it could happen all right there for him. So 2.5 shots at -106. Adam, I am going to lean with that one. A lot of these Bruins guys are just at 3.5, 4.5. But if you guys want to, by all means, go for it. I'm never going to tell you not to take Pasternak. I mean, the guy loves to shoot the puck, but there are a lot of different spots here today, and passes -140 for 5 shots. So that's a lot. I'm going to mention Bet365 a couple times throughout this show because we've been doing some same-game parlays. It's tough to do a same-game point parlay when a lot of these guys are at 1.5, but Marchand, Pasta, and Bergeron, you could put those guys in a same-game parlay. Pasta and Bergeron would have to have 2 points, or Pasta and Marchand would have to have 2 points, and then Bergeron 1 point. That's plus 550. It's a long shot one, but I think that line can hit the score sheet a couple times. The only value I really see is Bergeron plus 135 for an assist. I know I did it the other day, and he scored twice, but I'd say that Marchand or Pasta find the back of the net tonight, and Bergeron, hopefully he just has a helper on one of those goals. Let's move along. I like the Bruins in 60. I like the Bruins to win by 2 tonight. Colorado and Carolina. We have the Hurricanes on home ice at -125 and the Avs checking in at +110. These two teams just played each other the other day. It happened in Colorado. It was a really good game. It was fast-paced, back and forth. We saw some action, and it ended with a win, what looked like a lopsided win, but that game was pretty tight, 4-1 for the Avs. The Avs have wins now in 4 of their last 5 games. Carolina, man, they're just hit or miss. I feel like sometimes they look fantastic. They put 60 pucks towards the goal. Other times, they can't find a way to score goals, but I'll let you take it away. There's a couple players I'm looking at here, and one guy on the right is Andrei Svechnikov. Every time, he's the volume shooter on this squad. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, two fun teams, two offensively minded teams, defensemen that can move the puck, 2 pretty good goalies going tonight. But I would lean Colorado tonight. Look at Rantanen's been on an absolute heater. I like him to score a +130. And Lehkonen, he's playing on the top line. He's playing on, I believe he's playing on the top power play as well. They move him to the top power play on the left side. So I like him to score. He's playing a ton of important minutes. I mean, he is more of a defensive player. I mean, that's kind of why they picked him up, but he has had moments of scoring for Colorado. And the reality is he's plus 230. So that's going to be another one of my big bets of the day. On the other side, NetChess is having the best year so far, statistical year. He's off. I mean, this is a guy that we really liked last year. We thought was going to take a huge step out after the crazy performance against the Nashville Predators in the playoffs the year before. And just the whole playoffs. NetChess was all over the place, was all over the ice, was shooting the puck, was carrying it, handling it. Like the skill was there. And then last year, he just kind of disappeared. I don't know really why or what happened, but this year seems to be his years. And another player, this is another one for the fantasy cycles, another big bet for me. Nosen is playing on the first line with Sebastian Aho and playing on the second power play, and he's at plus 260. So it looks like a player that they trust. And look at, I mean, Carolina Hurricanes, there's not a player on that team that doesn't like a shot. You know, like they'll shoot the puck from anywhere. So I like both of those guys for shot props and for me for goal scoring.
That's my problem with the Hurricanes. Like, I get it. Nosen's on the top line. He's getting top power play time, but why? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. We
it's
don't
not
know.
great.
I mean, he's not a player that's ever jumped off the page.
No, and they really do trust him. He's been on that top line for a long time now. He's been on that first power play unit for a long time. I think this team will really take off when they get Max Pacioretty into that lineup when he comes back from an Achilles injury. Hopefully he's all good and he's inside that top six, because this lineup, they change it every single day. You know, now I like it. I like the Natchez call. I liked him too. And I just didn't like when he was playing next to Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Svechnikov was on that top line. So today it looks like they're going to go with Natchez on that top line with Aho. So he's back in play for me. He had 3 shots against the Avs. He's at 2.5 at minus 135. I love the Rodriguez call too, Adam. He's juiced up at minus 150 I'm seeing, but I certainly like him quite a bit. Excuse me. He's a guy that he has been shooting a lot. He's getting a lot of ice time. Right? Absolutely. He's taking that Kadri role. He's taken that second line center role and that first power play opportunity role that Kadri had last season. And that's very valuable when it comes to the Avs. Yeah, I don't know what it is with Carolina, man. Like, can we talk about Kotkaniemi for a second? Is everyone just going to just throw that under the rug like it didn't happen? The Hurricanes made a move to try to get back at Marc Bergevin and the Habs. They gave up picks for him, a first and a third. Then they locked him up to 4.5 or whatever. And this guy plays 11 minutes a night and he's hardly noticeable on the ice. And he just keeps playing as their second line center. It's a major issue. And and if this team wants to go deep in the playoffs, they're going to have to be deep down the middle, right? And as Kotkaniemi as your second line center, like, good luck playing the Penguins when you got to go up against Crosby and you got to go up against Malkin, or you got to go up against Trocheck and Mika Zibanejad. It's going to be an issue. How about the Devils, right? Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier. These teams are deep down the middle. It's an issue big time, but it's good value to your point. Nosen, right? Value on, DraftKings, value on DFS, getting an opportunity on that top line. But who do you think wins tonight? I think the Hurricanes could bounce back on home ice. I know the Avs are really good, but I think they could bounce back. They
could. I mean, the Avs aren't bulletproof. Like, I feel like last year, I don't think I bet against the Colorado Avalanche once last year. They still feel like maybe the best team in the league. Like, I mean, and they're missing Valerie Nichushkin. You can say whatever you want. He's a massive part of that team. And, but they've got so many good players. Cal McCarr is, top 3 defenseman for sure, probably a top 10 player in the NHL right now. Just a ridiculous skater. But I still think Colorado wins this game, but home ice is just not like what it used to be. I mean, it's not the advantage that you think.
No. Lekanen minus 135 for a point isn't bad. It's not a bad price to pay. We'll continue to move on here. Adam does like Evan Rodriguez until Big Vlau gets back. Yeah, I've been shooting like crazy. Once our guy Nichushkin gets back in the lineup, we'll go back to him automatic stuff. And we will get, I see some, let's just get into that game right now. Habs and Blue Jackets for Troy. Troy is here. He's waiting for it. He says Columbus is about to go on a tear. They have so many home games and everyone is trying so hard because everybody is injured. We do love it. And he says, this is great. This is great advice here, whether it's related to hockey or just real life. You have to stay positive through these tough times. As a Blue Jackets fan, at least they are skating hard now. If we get Connor Bedard, we'll be okay. We will. You will. I said we will for a second there. Listen, the Habs, I missed out on these odds, and they're going in the other direction in a hurry. I think the Canadians win this game. I'm a little hesitant to ever back the Canadians at -112 on the road. They opened up at +150 a couple days ago. I wish I jumped on that. Anyways, it's kind of a pick on -102 for Columbus, -112 for the Habs here. Live odds. I'm seeing the total at 6.5. I do think we can see some offense from this game. I like this top line. Fox got it done for me. I messaged him last night. I said, can we get Kirby Dach in a Habs uniform there? And he said, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And he is there.
Shout out to Tyler getting it done.
Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Fox. Shout out to George for always making this show look so pretty and running so smoothly.
Yeah.
Like that top line for Montreal. Cole Caulfield's going to score tonight. Kirby Dach, Nick Suzuki. These guys are going to hit the score sheet tonight. I think we'll see some offense from that trio. You know, it's a good spot, clearly. And I thought the Canadians held their own against the Devils. You'll see tonight when you watch that game. I know you've watched some Devils games, but they're playing the Leafs tonight. That should be a good one. They block a lot of shots. They get in shooting lanes. They do possess the puck quite a bit. The Habs did hang around. They had some quality chances. The Devils broke away in the second period, but Montreal, that top line should get some chances here against a Blue Jackets team that is inside the top 3 in shot attempts and shots allowed and high danger chances and quality chances. They give up a lot of key chances, and they're missing some guys, right? Like Werenski on the blue line. Is Jake Bean ready to go? Like Jake Bean is supposed to be that guy to fill in for Werenski on the top power play. You know, logged 26 minutes the other night. Then he left the last game with an injury. So there's so many factors in this game for the Blue Jackets. Boone Jenner is a great play. Adam brought it up for Troy. Favorite single play tonight, 3.5 at +105. He's been shooting like an absolute psycho, man. He just plays in all situations. 5 shots, 4, 7, 4 his last couple games. I love that call at 3.5. I like Caulfield tonight, 4 shots, and I like him for a goal, and I like Kirby Dach as well.
Yeah, we're in lockstep there on the Canadian side. You're going to give Caulfield at plus anything, and right now DraftKings has got him at +140. I love that. If you can find it better, then find it better. Like I said, the FTN bet tracker is the coolest thing on earth. I'm restricted to what thing I can use here, so I just give you guys DraftKings just to keep that in mind. But please use the tracker. It's crazy. Like it's automatic. You're going to find the best odds for whatever bet you're going to make. We all know you're making the bets. We know we are. Yeah. If you're watching the show, you're listening to us, you're a lunatic. And you're making the bet, so you might as well be getting the best odds. So I got Caulfield to score, Dach to score at +275. The Columbus side, Gaudreau at +155. And Nyquist has been playing a bunch of important minutes for this team and is a really good player. Has been a good player for a long time. He came into Detroit, had that one crazy rookie season where it seemed like he scored every single night on a terrible Detroit Red Wings team. He's kind of been off and on, but he's been playing some really good hockey. And like our boy Troy said, look, everyone's hurt. That other players that got to step up. Jenner is one of my favorite players to watch. Fell in love with him during World Junior tournament a couple years ago, and have just liked the way he plays. But Nyquist is a +210.
That's pretty good odds. I'm seeing Cole Caulfield at FanDuel at +160. His shot prop is not juice. It's at 3.5, but it's at a pretty good price that we can get behind here. I think if you're playing DFS, I'm seeing Jake Bean day to day. I don't know what so he left that game, didn't return. He only played 9 minutes. Gavrikov is a guy to consider in DFS. Like he scored a goal the other night. He had 2 points. He's not known for that. He's got 4 points. He played 28 minutes, EY. 28 minutes. Like this guy may just play 26 minutes tonight. They're so shorthanded on the blue line. He's going to block you 2, 3, maybe 4 shots tonight. Maybe if he can get you 2 or 3 shots. I think he's a good punt play for those that are playing DFS. You want to save a little bit of cash there. What do we got for Suzuki? Suzuki doesn't show up in the prop shop. We need to figure that out immediately because this guy is just an absolute stud, and I need props available to me right away when it comes to Nick Suzuki. He's just he's too good. Kirby Dach, what do we got? What'd you say the price was for Kirby?
+275 on DraftKings to score. Dude, sign me up.
Check out this one, FanDuel +340.
Whoa, man.
+340. This is why the prop shop is so cool.
I think I can use FanDuel here. I got to sign up for that. God,
DraftKings, BetMGM, BetRivers, Unibet, all hanging +275, and FanDuel's giving us 340. FanDuel, I noticed, does have the best goal scoring odds. Love you, Points Bet Canada. But FanDuel does have the best the goal odds. Like we just saw Cole Caulfield at plus 160, and then for Kirby Dach at plus 340. I like him to have a point here tonight at minus 128. And I think if you're looking for something crazy, a power play point, maybe 0.25 units, he's plus 280 for a power play point. He is on that first unit. And what I've noticed from Montreal's power play, they don't have a capable defenseman that they want to put on that first unit. It's just not there in their system. Maybe when Matheson, returns to the lineup, he's that guy, but they roll with Kirby Dach on the point on the power play. You got Suzuki on half boards. You got Caulfield on their half boards, and it goes to Kirby. He either looks for Suzuki for that shot, backdoor to Caulfield, or they go to Caulfield for the one-timer. So he is touching everything on that power play. So if they do get a goal tonight, he may be involved in it. And one more thing I will say is just from that point prop, this is one I will have in the bet tracker. Suzuki point, Caulfield point, Kirby Dach point, plus 210 for those guys just to have a point. It correlates, guys. If you're going to do it at Bet365, take a line, especially a line that's together on a power play. Most times if one, finds the back of the net, the other guys can get in on it. So that's it for us, I think. Anything else? Everybody seems to be on board here with the Boone Jenner prop, and Adam says Caulfield Suzuki. So just that alone for Caulfield Suzuki is probably a safer play. You just want to have those two guys instead of adding Kirby Dach is plus 112, same game parlay. That's available at Caesars, so not just Bet365. Thank you for that, Szymanski. It's one that we definitely like. This should be a fun game. Florida Panthers at home, minus 157 over at Bet Rivers, and we have the Dallas Stars at plus 145. We have a goal total here at 6.5. I thought that they could get to 7. The Stars have scored more goals this year. It hasn't just been that top line with Jason Robertson, Rupe Hintz, and Pavelski, which we love. We love that trio a lot. But Jimmy Benn has chipped in here and there. Love the addition of Mason Marchment. Sagan, a little fun revenge game for Mason Marchment. I'm sure you have a little bit of a giddy up in his step going back to Florida and playing the Panthers. But there are guys here that have been shooting the puck quite a bit, and it's our guy. We drafted him every time we did a best ball draft on the show leading up to the season. We talked about him. He was all over the fantasy hockey draft kit, all over it, EY. You and I could not believe why he was going so late in drafts, considering he was on the top line last year with Barkov. He's on the top line this year with Barkov. His ownership in Yahoo is still so low, 65% for a guy who has 10 goals, 16 points. He's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goals in his last 8 games. He's had at least 4 shots on goal in 7 straight games. It's Carter Verhaeghe. This guy is just a sniper. And junior here in the NHL, I like him tonight to find the back of the net again. I'm taking a shot prop.
Yeah, I have him on, I think, at least 6 of my teams. I'm in quite a few leagues, but
you're a psycho.
I'm not in double-digit leagues, so that tells you how much I believe in Carter Verhaeghe. Love him. Like you said, Dallas, there is scoring coming from other places. I think the biggest difference is Tyler Seguin has looked kind of like Tyler Seguin this year. And that's a massive difference for the Dallas Stars. Like the hip surgery last year, he just didn't seem like the same player. And after a surgery like that, like it changes your body. Like it changes everything. And you're never sure if they're ever going to be the same. And I don't think he's ever going to be the kind of elite forward that he was, but he's a very, very good forward, playing a ton of important minutes for Dallas. So I like seeing him. I got him at plus 240. Robertson, you're going to give me plus odds on Robertson. He's on that list of guys. I say, like, if you give me plus anything, I'm betting on it to score plus 135. The offense flows through him for the Dallas Stars. Kachuk at 125, and I like Reinhardt at 165. And
starting to come around a bit.
You brought him up, and I put an extra bet in on Marchment to score as well.
Nice. Let's see. What do we got? Verhaeghe is juiced. Yeah, minus 145. It's tough to kind of pay that price. Too bad. But maybe in a parlay or something inside this game with Jason Robertson, I think he could do that. Like have those two in a same game parlay or alternate shots, as Adam says. He's minus 145 for a point. I think he gets it. Mason Marchment has to have decent odds here for a goal tonight. 290, 300 plus 300 over at DraftKings. 3-1 over at FanDuel. Yeah, there's a lot of different things. I'll go back to the same game parlay. Been doing this a lot with that top line, and I'll do it here. It probably pays like 2-1 as well. Dallas Stars. Let's do it. Soon Robertson is going to be at 1.5 points, and we won't be able to do it. But Robertson, Pavelski, Rupe Hintz, plus 190 for that top line tonight. I think we'll see some offense, guys, in this game.
Yep.
That just happens in Florida games. And like we said, Dallas has been doing it a little bit. One guy I've put into the bet tracker, I think in 3 straight games for an assist, is Joe Pavelski. Joe Pavelski for an assist tonight is plus 132. So we're still getting points or plus money for Pavelski when it comes to assists. Because Robertson's so good. I mean, he scores almost every single night, every other night, and Pavelski's usually in on it. And Hintz is a shooter on that line too. So
I bet on Pavelski
is having another
and
good
Robertson
season
to score on Tuesday, and they both hit. That's 50. And for anyone keeping track, I predicted 15 goal scorers on Tuesday out of like 28 bets. That's over 50%. So you hit it. Go ahead and crown me the goal scoring crown.
You were a psycho. Barkov's minus 110 for an assist. We're not getting plus money there, but I think he probably has an apple in this game too. Should be a fun game. I think the Panthers win the game. I was thinking Dallas here. I was thinking Dallas against Tampa the other night. Tampa came back. That was a fun game. Tampa came back and won that game. As long as Jake Ottinger is in net, I think that they are in play at plus money to win the game. But should be a fun one. Speaking of the Bolts, at home minus 120, and then we have Calgary checking in as road dogs at plus 105, and our total here, I believe it's at 6.5. You can get 6 in some spots if you like the over. 6 is plus 100 over at PointsBet. If you think we're going to see some goals here, I can't figure out this Flames team. When I watch them play, there's moments in games where I'm like, here we go. This Flames team look fantastic. They look awesome. And then same with Tampa. They've gone through their moments as well. Man, really cool jersey there for Mikhail Sergachev. Another great job by Fox. Sergachev's having, I think, a breakout season. And it may seem weird for people to say, what, he's been good since he's entered the league. Yeah, he has a BS trade from Mark Bergevin, straight up. Sergachev for Duran. Are you kidding me with that trade? But the minutes are significant here for Sergachev. He's on that top power play, right? He's taken Hedman's spot on that top power play. He's got 5 points in his last 2 games. He had 2 goals and 2 assists the other night against the Capitals. He's up to 4 goals and 15 points on the season. So he is really just finding a groove. He's still a very, very young defenseman in the league. And there's nothing wrong with Hedman. Hedman's obviously a stud. He can get that top power play time back at any time. He's still logging a lot of minutes, 27 minutes, but he has a quiet 1 goal and 9 points on the season. Would you buy low on Victor Hedman? If you could get him in fantasy hockey, would you buy low on him?
Oh, if you can buy low on him, if there's someone.
I mean, there's an opportunity to buy on him right now.
If I have him, I'm not giving him up. He's still top 5 player, defenseman in the league. I mean, he's not off to the best start, but he still plays on the top line. He still plays the top power play. He's still Victor Hedman. I mean, he doesn't look slow and doesn't look like he's different. It just hasn't been going for him. And I guess you could say that, about Tampa in general, right? They're not off to like a dominant start or anything. They're right in the mix because they're a really good team. But I don't think we've seen the best Tampa Bay Lightning yet.
No. Toffoli's juiced at 2.5 at minus 145, but he is the shooter on the squad. Lindholm is starting to pick up some steam too. Those 2 guys are playing really good hockey together since they're on the same line. Kucherov is just too juiced everywhere to get involved. 3.5 minus 110, I think, is okay. He's having a fantastic
plus 140 to score. I'll take that.
Absolutely. You should take that. I mean, that's a really good price there for Nikita Kucherov. And I still like Hagel, whether you take him to score or you take him for a point at minus 125. As we said in the last show, when you're playing with Kucherov, you're just going to fall into points. He's a really good player anyways. This is another player that Chicago just got rid of. And, when he was playing with Patrick Kane, he was hitting the score sheet, and he's found a home next to Nikita Kucherov, and they look pretty good together.
Yeah, I got Kuch and Hagel plus 230. I keep hammering Hagel just because of where he plays and who he plays with. And if he's going to have plus 230, I'm going to bet on him to get a goal. I got Lindholm. He's playing the best hockey this year now. Like this is a guy I thought would score 40 goals this year. And especially if he was playing with Huberdeau. Huberdeau's now he's playing on like the 3rd line. And Sutter he's the best. He's like, well, why do you put him there? It's like, well, we've tried him everywhere else and it hasn't worked. So.
Fantastic. I'm glad you brought it up. That might be just a good spot for him. Listen, Calgary rolls 4 lines. Sutter rolls 4 lines. Even last year, that top line in Calgary, he still rolled 4 lines. Those guys didn't get significant ice time. Down the stretch, their ice time was cut back. I wanted to keep them fresh for the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work for certain players. We know Huberdeau is skilled. hasn't really looked good next to Kadri. Hasn't looked great next to Lindholm. Backlund is a respectable two-way forward. Trevor Lewis is a in-your-face type of player who, has a lot of speed and gets into the corners and creates, loose pucks and things like that. So Huberdeau's, didn't he score the other night? It seemed to work out for him on that line. I think he's a decent buy low candidate, but you just have to adjust your ranks. Like him and Johnny Hockey were going a little bit too early. If I could choose one of those two guys that went early that are not performing, to their standards or where their ADP suggested, it would be, Gaudreau. I'd like to get him, but I would imagine people are ready to even drop Huberdeau. Like just casual fantasy hockey fans are probably like, what the hell? I'm not like this guy. He's not even shooting the puck.
Yeah. Another guy from Calgary for the fantasy psychos. Another big bet for me because of the odds is Adam Ruzicka. He's playing on the top line because, Daryl Sutter is going to be Daryl Sutter. This is what, old coaches do. They just mix and match and they'll move guys up and see what goes on. But he's playing on the top line in the second power play. He's plus 300 to score. Sign me up. Big bet.
400 at FanDuel. He's plus 780 for a power play point for you true psychos out there. Nice. I played him in DraftKings the other night. It was that 3-game slate on Monday, I think, and he scored a goal on that top line. Who wins, Tampa or Calgary? Who'd you got?
I think Calgary wins this tonight.
Okay, all right. Moving right along, Devils and Leafs. This should be a good one. We have Toronto at home at minus 140 at plus 125 for New Jersey. I feel like I just want to ride this out with the Devils at plus 125, right? I know the Leafs have played great. They played great against really good opponents this season. A couple wins. They had a win the other night against the Pens. They've beaten some good teams over the past couple weeks. They've lost some awful teams earlier in the year, but Jack Hughes, Mitch Marner, Fox doing it again with the photos there. You called Marner the other night to score. You actually called Hughes. We both had Jack Hughes to have a big night in Montreal. I love the question from the reporter asking Jack Hughes in Montreal the other night how they could find some consistency in their game. And he said, listen, we're entering on a 9-game heater. I think we're doing all right. And they ended up winning that game against the Habs. They are doing all right. Jack
what
Hughes
is that guy talking about? Consistency. They've been the most consistent team all year.
Some of these reporters, I don't know. I went to reporting school. I know the ins and the outs, and the one thing that they tell you is obviously don't ask stupid questions. Don't ask any questions which like a yes or no to it as well. But check the standings.
Yeah,
take a look, team on a 9-game winning streak. They've been pretty.
They've won 9 games in a row, which is insane.
Yeah, 10 now.
Yeah, just find some more consistency. Consistency of what? Losing. God almighty. That wild. That irks me. I like Tavares
scoring again tonight.
Tavares has got like what does he have? 11 goals or something? I don't know. He's playing maybe the best hockey as a Maple Leaf, as the captain, plus 155. Nylander at 165 playing with Matthews. They kind of move Marner and Nylander. They switch them. So I like him. I liked him to score the other day, and he did. And I've got Hughes at plus 160. He's another one of those guys. If you're going to give me plus odds on him to score, I'm going to say, yeah. And Zetterlund is playing on the first time and the second power play at plus 310. That's another big bet for me. Ooh, the bank account is taking a real hit today with all these big bets.
Hopefully, I'm sure you're going to win a couple of them.
Zetterlund, Lehkonen. Those are a couple that I've mentioned so far. And Noah Cates. Don't forget about Noah Cates.
You hit one or two of those long shots and, it's a profitable night for you. You can have some fun with first goal scorers too. We did that a couple times when we did the show for Mayo. We were always doing first goal scorers. We were hitting quite a bit. I got away from that because it's just so tough. But, you can put 0.25 or, maybe $1 or 50 cents or something, some small bets, whatever you normally do on your bets, just scale it back, 3/4 of the way to get a first goal. But I like Jack Hughes to score tonight too. I still think there's value on the assist prop with him at plus 122. We had it the other night and he had 2 goals, had him to score against the Habs, but I also liked his assist prop. And it's tough, right? One or the other. He could get both a goal and an assist. I just think there's really good value for a guy who I'm pretty sure he's got 10 assists on the season. And a lot of them have come over his last, 10 or 11 games. Yeah, he's 11 assists on the season. He did have an assist against the Habs, so we must have got that one pretty late. I don't know if there was a stat correction there or not. I thought we lost that one. Doesn't matter, but the last few games, assists, no assists, 2 assists, assists, no assists, 2 assists, no assists, 2 assists, no assists, assists. Like he's all over it, man. He's got at least 4 shots in 3 straight games. Even before that, a game with 7 shots and 8 shots. So I like him to continue to shoot the puck tonight at 3.5 shots. And I'd say there's a sneaky goal scorer could be, a couple of those guys that you mentioned up on the top line, like they're cheap, Tatar and Zetterlund. Another guy, Sharon Govich, playing next to Jack Hughes. If he's going to play on that second line next to Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt, those are interesting guys for me. Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, same game parlay, Bet365. Both of these guys to have 1 point plus 105. So that's another one that I like. Just correlates. I'm really getting into these same game parlays. I like the Devils. I think the Devils win tonight. I'll go with William Nylander, and I'll go with Jack Hughes. I think a 2-point night from Jack Hughes, but Sharon Govich would be my sneaky one there for the Devils. Penguins and Wild. We're getting through it, man. We still have a couple more games to get through, but we're getting there. Minnesota at minus 105. We got the Pens at minus 107. We have a goal total here at 605. Marc-Andre Fleury was placed on IR yesterday. I have tried to, in leagues that I have Marc-Andre Fleury, I just went to Gustafsson. I know he's not fantastic, but his numbers are okay. I mean, he's 1-3-1. That's not great, but he's got a 914 save percentage and a 2.81 goals against average. He is getting the start here tonight for Minnesota. The Wild are stingy, so I think he could, hold the fort down a little bit. They allow the fewest high danger chances at 5-5. They don't give up a lot of quality chances. They play in a lot of low total games. They don't give up a lot of goals. I think Gustafsson can be enough for you if you need help in goal in your fantasy hockey season in your formats there. Don't know if they go to Tristan Jarry or not. Casey, I think we talked about this the other day. Casey DeSmith has looked like the better goalie, and they could go back to Tristan Jarry at some point. I'm sure. I don't know if he's going to get the start or not tonight, but I don't have a strong lean on either side. It's basically a pick 'em. I usually lean with the Wild at home. I think that's the way I'll go.
Left wing lock is projecting Jarry, but goalies, it's been real weird. I've kind of been making a policy of around 4 or 5, kind of going back to left wing lock and checking what goalies are going to play. Until it's set in stone, it doesn't seem like it's set in stone. So you got to really pay attention. Pittsburgh mini, I got Kaprizov plus 140, going back to the Frederick Gaudreau train because he's centering that top line at plus 280. Gensel, you're going to give me plus odds. I'm going to bet on him to score, and Crosby at 125, plus 125.
Yeah, they messed their lines around a little bit. Joel Eriksson Ek is not on that second line. They got Connor Dewar on there with Boldy and Shaw, which I don't love that much. But Eriksson Ek is still going to get his ice time. He's still going to shoot. He's still going to play in all situations, top power play, kill some penalties. He'll be lined up against Crosby anytime that they can get that matchup. I don't really like a whole lot from this game. Gensel hasn't been hitting consistently. Kaprizov hasn't really been hitting consistently, and Rust is not a guy. He's had a lot of 0-shot games over the past little bit. 3.5 minus 135 for Kaprizov. I think it's okay. There's not a lot I really like from this game, guys, from a shot prop standpoint. But I think the Wild could win. Islanders and Preds. Your Preds are at home minus 115. The Islanders are checking in at plus 102. I do like that Brock Nelson. Brock Nelson, whatever line he's been on, they've been putting Parise with him. They've been putting Palmieri with him. Anders Lee. They've been messing things around a little bit lately, but I do like Brock Nelson as a guy that continues to shoot. I didn't see anything on him this morning. I'm sure it's juiced. Yeah, Adam, Rickard Rakell is a guy that I wrote up at the FTN waiver wire article. Rakell and Zucker, right? 2 guys that have been shooting. Little fun revenge game for Jason Zucker. I don't know. He's been shooting quite a bit.
Yeah, he's been playing
could
really
go that
good,
way.
man.
One of those. He has been playing really good. So maybe an oversight on my part for one of those guys to step in and be okay. Do you have anything that you like from this Islanders and your Preds?
I got Nelson and Lee. I mean, if they're going to score, that's who's been scoring for the Islanders. Islanders have been playing pretty decent hockey. The Preds are. It looks like they're starting to kind of figure it out now. I got Forsberg at plus 140 and Parisian at plus 260. Rookie guy up from Milwaukee, just playing with insane confidence. Big guy, good with the puck, patience. The big thing is like watching this guy. He does not look like a rookie. He's playing with just complete confidence. The coach had him out in the last minute of the game 2 games ago. That means the coach trusts him. He's playing important minutes, playing on the power play, playing in the top 6, plus 260. Sign me up.
I'd like to see something for a point prop when it comes to him. Played him the other night on DraftKings just as like a single punt play because, like you said, up on the top line, centering the top line, he was fairly cheap. Brock Nelson's actually had a pretty good price, guys. I'm surprised. Minus 125 for 2.5 shots for Mr. Brock Nelson. He's also plus 168 for an assist. That's a point parlay I think you could try out. You could either do like maybe a Forsberg Duchesne or a Brock Nelson and an Andersley, because as you said, right, the Islanders, when they score, it's those two guys. It's not Barzal at the moment. That's for sure. Eventually, I think at some point, I like Duchesne.
I keep betting on him, but I'm not betting on him tonight.
No, that's it. You're done. You're done. But I like Duchesne, right? You and I chatted, I think, earlier in the green room about Duchesne. I think it was earlier. It could have been on the show. I don't know. My apologies. But yeah, Matt Duchesne, a goal and assist the other night. He had 4 shots. He's got 3 shots in back-to-back games. He's minus 215 for 3 shots. He hasn't been consistent though, so that's not like a fantastic call. But if you're looking for some action, and there's action to be had here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more games, 5 more games to talk about here. We will, we're probably only going to be about another 15 minutes. But if you want to hop on over to our FTN Network YouTube page, hop on over. We're going to recap some of our favorite plays, sides, totals, goal scorers, shot props, some point parlays, and things like that. So if you want to hop over to our FTN Network YouTube page, come on over. We would love to have you. Smash that like button. We will say goodbye to Game Plus Network right now. As of right now on your sheet, your favorite goal scorer tonight, UI, for the folks at Anthem Sports and Entertainment. What is it?
Oh, geez.
Just one.
I'm only allowed to pick one who I think is going to score. I'm going to go with, Rantanen. He's been unbelievable, and he's plus 130. So I like that.
And I am going to go with Cole Caulfield. And I really do like Boone Jenner's shot prop. It's probably the one I'll lead with over at Mean Streets. We appreciate you guys. Game Plus Network, Anthem Sports and Entertainment. We love you guys, and good luck tonight on the ice. And we'll be back on Tuesday. Cheers. Okay, let's wrap up here with the final few games on the slate. Where did we leave off? We left off in Nashville. All right, so the Capitals and the Blues. St. Louis played last night. They've won a couple games in a row now. Maybe they just need the mothers to join them on the road trip, and it worked out. They had a win in Vegas, they had a win in Colorado, and they won last night in Chicago. Starting to see signs of life from Robert Thomas, Pavel Buchnevich, and Vladimir Tarasenko. But they didn't hit the score sheet last night. Jordan Kyrou, we talked about maybe being patient with Jordan Kyrou. This guy was getting dropped in season-long leagues. He is starting to find the back of the net. He's been shooting. He's minus 125. He didn't hit last night, but he is the one blue. I'll throw Tarasenko in here as well as another blue that I don't mind. He did hit last night. And those are the 2 shooters for me. Ryan O'Reilly is starting to play a little bit better as well. Tarasenko's at minus 125. Kyrou's at minus 125. Let's see what O'Reilly's at. He might be plus money. He's plus 132 for 2.5 shots. He's plus 166 for an apple and an assist. Kuznetsov every game, Adam, except the game that I bet him. I don't like to bet Kuznetsov because this guy is he's a pass first guy, and he had 8 shots the other night. I know he's been hitting. Go look at this. Is pure George. Like George would say, would be his fault. 3 shots, 4, 5. He plays Tampa on a light night in the NHL. I'd lead with him on Mean Streets is like the play of the day. He has 1 shot, and then he bounces back with 3, and then he has 8 in the last game against the Florida Panthers. You want to go to Kuznetsov? I think it's fine. I like the call out, but maybe I'll pass on Evgeny Kuznetsov. What do you got in this game?
I got Ovi plus 105. I think people that think that he's going to catch the Gretzky score wrecking, I've always said that they were wrong. I feel like, you can go ahead. Raise your hand. You're wrong. He's not doing it. It's just not happening. He's not catching them. I love
He looks a little slower this year.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch. I mean, the argument was, oh, he doesn't, it doesn't matter if he's fast. He just stands in that spot. He's not scoring at the same rate, and he's just not. I keep betting on him to score, and he keeps letting me down, but I'm going back to him. And Marcus Johansson is a guy that's really jumped off the screen for me whenever I watch Capitals. He's all over the place. He's carrying the puck. He's a big body. He's got moments in the end of the NHL career where you're like, man, this guy could be a real force, a real player. He's pretty inconsistent, but he's someone I've noticed in every Capitals game, and he's at plus 310 to score. So it's going to be another big bet for me. St. Louis side, I like Buchnevich, plus 195, playing on the top line, top power play. And Jordan Kyrou is starting to feel it at plus 145. You brought him up earlier. That's a guy that I love this kid, man. I mean, just can skate and he shoots, but he's been snake bit this year, but it looks like he's starting to find his groove.
3 goals in his last 4 games, had at least 4 shots in 3 of his past 5 as well. Actually, 4 of his past 6. So I like a couple of shot props actually in this game. John Carlson is one that I like as well. Carlson, I think he's hit in 7 straight games in which he's started and finished. So his 3 games back since returning the lineup, heavy minutes, 26, 23, 26. Capitals are pretty short-handed defensively. 7 shots, 3 shots, and 3 shots. And then the game where he only played 3 minutes against your Preds, he left. He still had a shot in those 3 minutes, but the couple before that he hit. So there's actually 3 guys I like in this game. I'd rank them Carlson, Kyrou, and then Tarasenko. Tarasenko, he's another guy that I expect to, eventually some of these shots are going to go in the back of the net for him. He's too good of a shooter for it to happen. Back-to-back games with 3 shots. He's actually been stuck on 2 shots in like 9 to 10 straight games, and he's cleared in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those games, so about half, but he's been right at that number. Kyrou, Tarasenko, minus 125, 2.5 shots. And then John Carlson is at minus 122 over at Bet Rivers. FanDuel's got him juiced at minus 140. So maybe that's one that you jump on pretty early, guys. He's going to play 25, 26 minutes, power play. He should get at least the shot attempts. Adam says Kuznetsov and Braden Point are the guys we can never get right. I can never get Kuznetsov right. I always write him up as a bust. I think he's a good player, but I don't view him as a volume shooter. But things are a little bit differently so far. And Braden Point is hitting like 4 of his last 6. He had like 4 shots the other night. I laugh when he hits, and then I get mad at myself for it because he's always plus money, but I can never get him right. Joey says the Kyrou, Tage, Anthony Ciu goal parlay came clutch.
That's a true psycho move.
Last night. Yeah, that is nice. Anthony Ciu, right? Good call on the Anthony Ciu goal prop there. We love Tage Thompson on the show. What an absolute freak, man. Didn't even have to sweat out his 3.5 shot prop last night. He had it nearly halfway through the game.
Buffalo found someone. I mean, and they paid him, right? I mean, that contract's going to look.
People hated that contract. They didn't believe in the breakout, but what you have to believe in the breakout. He's such a big body. He doesn't hit for him being such a big body. Like Cole Caulfield has more hits than him this year.
Hard to hit when you have the puck all the time, right? Like, I mean,
true. Skilled, hell of a shot, hell of a release. Great player. Since October 26th, he is first in the NHL in expected goals. He is first in the NHL in goals. He is top 5 in goals overall. He's top 10 in points, and he's first in the NHL in shot attempts with 102. He's averaging 7.5 shot attempts per game over his last 8 games. I was about to say it, Adam. You mentioned it. Blues' biggest mistake letting him go. He was involved in the Ryan O'Reilly deal, right? I think that was.
I think so.
But
it was like a throw-in. Like he wasn't even a player for the Blues.
Right. No, it was nothing.
He was a prospect, and a lot of people, me included. I mean, that salary cap league that we ran, you guys took him away from me because we redid the draft and redid all the players.
Yeah, I know.
But I had him, and he was like, whatever, $750,000, and I was like, "Oh, dude, this guy's going to turn into a superstar."
I'm going to let people know I am a massive psycho. This is not like a bragging. This is how much I don't have a life. I'm in like 15 fantasy hockey leagues. I have them in 13. I'm in 13. 13. I showed my buddies the other day, in Yahoo. Like I'm in 8 Yahoo leagues, and you can only have 8 like hockey, and then they max you out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean every Yahoo one I have them there, and it's like the red, drop them. So I'm a huge fan of his. Anyways, I would never sell high on Tage Thompson, but maybe the Caps win this game. I don't know. Like coming back home, I know the Blues are feeling themselves. Yeah, maybe I won't bet against the Blues because they're feeling themselves. I'm always a little hesitant though, in that it wasn't a super long road trip. You saw the Oilers after their bit of a road trip, they went home and they looked so flat last night against the Kings. But maybe I'll lean here with St. Louis. But yeah, there's a couple plays that we like. I may try that same game parlay again. That didn't work out yesterday with the top line: Buchnevich, Thomas, and Tarasenko, because I feel like it's only a matter of time before that trio breaks out. I'm starting to see signs. The Jets at home -210 and the Ducks +185. This could be a fun game. I'm a little shocked that Winnipeg is getting this kind of respect, but I looked at the standings and I was kind of shocked to see the Jets 9-4-1. I know they've been playing pretty good hockey, but I didn't think they've been playing that great. 7-2-1. I actually don't view them as a playoff team, but right here,
they're playing really good hockey right
they're
now.
playing like a playoff team. Yeah, they're playing really good hockey. Yeah, good for the Jets. Pierre-Luc Dubois, I think, was on the board. I missed the board, but I think we have PLD on the board for our guy George. There we go. He's been shooting quite a bit, getting some shots. Your boy Kyle Connor. This is a good spot for the Jets. The Ducks give up a lot of rubber.
Yeah, I mean, look at I've never not bet on him, but he's negative odds to score, which I get. So I'm not going to do that. This is I'm trying to make people a little bit of money here, so I'm going to go Scheifele. He's playing unbelievable hockey at +130 to score, and Sam Gagner is playing on the top line and the top power play, and he's +280. So I love that as a big bet for me. When I say big bet, it's just like double or sometimes triple of what I normally bet. I bet very small amounts, guys. Please do not bet on every goal scorer that I say unless you want to win money. Don't bet on them all. Just pick your favorites. It's not advised. I do it, but it's not advised. So yeah, I love those two guys. On the Anaheim side, Troy Terry +180 and Adam Henrique. And Adam Henrique's playing top line and top power play. He's a good player, man. He's a really, really good player. So
yeah, he is a really good player. An underrated two-way player that doesn't really get a lot of love that he should get. So Sam Gagner, by the way, is +380 over at FanDuel for a power play point.
Nice.
Maybe something to consider as well. Dubois has been shooting, but he's at 4 now. But you know what? He's been hitting at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times since October 22nd. He's had at least 4 shots. It's a bit much to ask, but I think he scores tonight. He's up to 7 goals in the season. He's got 4 goals over his last 5 games. So that's who I would be looking to score. I like the Scheifele call, right? Scheifele's been playing pretty good as well. He's been playing with a lot of confidence shooting the puck. But we can get Pierre-Luc Dubois +156 for him to find the back of the net. 4 shots is +110. I think he gets there because the Ducks give up so much. Let's just see. I want to see what Kyle Connor is at. He's at 3.5. You can get 3.5 FanDuel at -115. I think that's pretty good. DraftKings is hanging -135. Bet Rivers is +110 for 4 when it comes to Kyle Connor. Kyle Connor for an assist. I know we view him as a big shooter. It's surprising. He's got 2 goals in the season. That's it. Just 2 goals. 1 goal came 3-on-3 in overtime. This guy's got 1 goal this year in regulation, but he does have 7 assists over his last 6 or 5 games. So he is +168. Is that true? No, he's not. I take it back. He's -168 for an assist. So take it back. I don't like it. We'll move on. We'll move on from this game. I like Pierre-Luc Dubois. I like Kyle Connor for shots. Sam Gagner is a good call. Maybe get a power play goal out of him, and we can win some cash from that one. I don't think there's much to say about Vegas and Arizona. Oh wait, one thing I do want to say about the Ducks. I like Frank Bertrand. I'm going to continue to ride this out with Frank Bertrand. 2.5 -125 for Frank Bertrand. You all good over there, bud?
Sorry, a little bit of readjusting.
Golden Knights and Arizona, -400 favorites. What are you going to do? What do you got on your sheet over there?
I got Marcel Schultz at 125, Stevenson at +200. He's playing on the left wing, on the top line and the top power play. He's a really, really good player. Those are the 2 Vegas guys that I love. Keller is I think he's a point a game player right now at +210, and Boyd is +425. He's playing on the top line and playing on the top power play. Travis Boyd he's not somebody I'm recommending to bet on, but if I'm betting, I'm going to like those odds just because of the minutes he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting an opportunity, right? Yeah, these shot props, I mean, they're I don't think there's anything really from this game. Let's see. What we got here. We got Eichel, Juice. Pietrangelo has been getting involved. I've been playing him in DFS. Like I've been playing Eichel, Stevenson, and Pietrangelo. Eichel minus 145. It's just not a good price. The assist. Can we get plus money on an assist? We can for Eichel, plus 100 for an assist. I think that's pretty good value there for Eichel. I think he's going to get 4 shots. He's negative to score a goal. Fanduel has him at plus 140 for a goal. I think that's okay. Marchessault is juiced for 3 shots, but I do think he's going to get 3 shots as well. Maybe Riley Smith at 2.5. He's quieted down just a little bit. Point parlay is definitely in play. We got the biggest favorites on the board. The Golden Knights have the highest team applied total in terms of goals here tonight. So you could go Eichel, Stevenson, Mark Stone, all these guys to have 1 point. Vegas line 1 plus 175. I think the Golden Knights win by a couple here, but the puck line is juiced too at minus 150. Next game, Seattle Kraken at home plus 115, and the New York Rangers at minus 130. We have a goal total here at 6, and the over is plus money if you want to get behind the over in this game. The Kraken are playing pretty good, man. We've talked about the year number 2. They're getting some contributions from some guys that they brought in, like Bjorkstrand and Andre Burakovsky, and they're getting good goaltending from Martin Jones. Him, the artist, dang, I missed the whole show. What's up, guys? We're just about finished. We have one game after this one. I'm going to throw it over to you, EY, Kraken, and the Rangers. What you got?
Zibanejad plus 120 and Kreider for the New York Rangers side. Zibanejad is, I mean, dude, just what a player. The Ottawa Senators gave him up for almost next to nothing. And the Rangers have been reaping the benefits. He's just such a good player, a guy I love watching. Seattle side, like you said, playing some unreal hockey and good goaltending from Martin Jones. Martin Jones hasn't been a good goaltender in like a decade. And here he is in Seattle playing the best hockey of his life, which is really cool to see. Good for Martin Jones. I got Burakovsky at plus 270 and Jaden Schwartz at plus 300. Look, I mean, he hasn't done much in the last couple games, which is probably why you're getting these numbers. But him to score, he's playing on the top line and the top power play, and he's a really good player, and he shoots the puck a ton. So I love that, plus 300. That's a big bet for me, too.
I got to lean to the under here. I know it's 6, but as long as Igor's between the pipes, he's starting to turn the corner just a little bit. So I'm going to back him. And Kreider is all Kreider needed was to, be benched or on the 4th line or 3rd line for a minute just to light a fire under his ass, because he's got 3 goals in his last 4 games. He had 3 shots in 4 straight. He had 7 shots in his last game. He's minus 130. The Kraken don't give up a whole lot at 5-5. That's why I'm a little hesitant, but this is part of why we're getting a decent price here at 2.5 for Chris Kreider. I think he finds the back of the net tonight. I think he's going to continue, and he's somebody to consider as well for an assist at plus 182 for Chris Kreider. But I like the Rangers here. I mean, you're going to give me the Rangers at minus 130. I'm going to take them on the money line, so I'm going to lean with New York against the Kraken. And then the final game of the night is in San Jose. The Sharks at minus 121. The Red Wings checking in at plus 105. Tyler Bertuzzi back in the lineup for Detroit. And I thought him and Larkin looked pretty good. They had the band back together. Lucas Raymond in there as well. Larkin had 7 shots the other night against the Ducks, and Bertuzzi hit. I couldn't find a shot prop actually for Tyler Bertuzzi. I was looking the entire night, couldn't find one. He played 18 minutes in his return, and he had 3 shots on goal. Let me see. We're probably going to get him at a decent price at 2.5. Plus money for Tyler Bertuzzi. Let's put him on the board. I like Bertuzzi, and I like this line actually to have a goal tonight. Tyler Bertuzzi. We could do the point prop with Bertuzzi, Freeman, and Larkin. I'll find it out in a minute. I'll let you take it away. You probably got some goal scorers. I think we could see some goals in this game.
Timo Meier and Couture for the Sharks, and Larkin and Raymond. Bertuzzi, I mean, he looked good. He had the terrible giveaway, and they lost the game off that. He knew it. Brutal, He knew it. That's a brutal break for him, but he's a good player. But I think the goal scoring is going to come from Raymond if I was to bet. And I like Larkin because he shoots and plays a ton of important minutes for Detroit. Couture is playing really good hockey for the San Jose Sharks, guys. Do not sleep on this guy. Do not sleep on him.
Nope.
He's plus 245 to score tonight. If he's available in your leagues, like he's probably
He's available in leagues.
Their most important players for San Jose.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. He's a good player. Plus 280 for that top line of Detroit point parlay, and then Thomas Hertl and Timo Meier plus 100 for a point parlay when it comes to those guys as well. So I think that they're going to hit the score. They've been hitting the score sheet. Tyler Bertuzzi is minus 128 for a point, and he is plus 270 for a power play point, which is interesting. Plus 235 for him to find the back of the net. I think we did it. I think we went through all of it. What do we have? Lee in the house, go Sharks. Adam Redcamp, the numbers are high for Seattle because of Igor. Yeah, definitely. Cole doesn't have back-to-back pointless games, right? This is are we talking about Cole Caulfield? I'm not sure off the top of my head, but that line doesn't get held off the score sheet often. I'll tell you that. And yeah, just taking a look at it, Cole doesn't. We like Cole to score on this show here tonight.
We certainly do.
Erik Karlsson back home versus away splits are insane. I actually looked at that last week, Adam. That's a nice call out by you. Karlsson's home and away splits. They are insane. I didn't mention him. I should have. What do we got for shot props for him? He hasn't been hitting lately, but we're going to get minus 155. It's a little juiced. But yeah, having a really good season, Erik Karlsson. Let's just take a look at his home splits just for a second. I did see this the other day. I don't know if sometimes there's any truth to this, but he's averaging 2 more minutes per game at home, which is significant. 16 points, 16 points in 9 games as opposed to 8 points in 9 games. Point per player still on the road. Yes means Caulfield. We like Caulfield. The artist going to find the back of the net tonight. We like that top line as well. Joey, I don't think he had any points against the Pens, against the Pittsburgh Penguins the other day. What do we got? What do we got for and the artist? I don't know who to here. What do we got here? I don't know who to take from Philly, Boston, since Boston doesn't allow a lot of shots. So juiced. So you missed the first part of the show. We did lead with that game and the artist. Tippett has been hitting. He's plus money, but I think we wanted to shy away from him because of he could be in the doghouse. He's not on he's been moved around on up and down the lineup consistently. We like Konechny. Konechny's at a good price. Yep. He's been shooting a lot. And he's at 2.5. He just needs a power play or two to get to that mark. So if you're looking for a flyer, that's the way it would go. And it's these Boston Bruins, have they been inconsistent for shot props since Marchand returned to the lineup? DeBrusk and even Marchand hasn't been doing it, and Pasta. These guys, they haven't been doing it consistently, but we do like Konechny for some shots. And we gave Bergeron for an assist. I gave a same game parlay at plus 550 for Bergeron for a point, Marchand, and a passive for 2 points. I think that the Bruins have their way with the Flyers. Let's recap here and get out of here. What you got on your list?
You ready?
Yeah, I think
it's a doozy. It's a doozy. All right, we've got DeBrusk, Marchand, Konechny, Noah Cates, big bet. Tavares, Nylander, Hughes, Zetterlund, big bet. Rantanen, Lehkonen, big bet. Necas, Nosen, big bet. Kachuk, Reinhart, Robertson, Sagan, Kucherov, Hagel, Lindholm, Ruzicka, big bet. Caulfield, Doc, Goudreau, Johnny Goudreau, Nyquist, Forsberg, Parizan, Nelson, Lee, Scheifele, Gagne, big bet. Terry, Henrique, Ovi, Marcus Johansson, big bet. Buchnevich, Kyrou, Kaprizov, Goudreau, Gensel, Crosby, Marsha Schultz, Stevenson, big bet. Keller, Boyd, Zibanejad, Kreider, Burakovsky, Schwartz, big bet. Meyer, Couture, Larkin, Raymond. The bankroll took a real slug in the guts today, everybody.
I love him, the artist. Did EY really turn a page? Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah.
You got
twice.
You got 2 sheets up there.
Front and back and a secondary. 13 games, guys. Buckle up. Let's go.
I'm the artist. I go like this. I go like this size, and I go back usually. But the back is blank here today. I don't have it.
That's not real. It's
surprisingly, I know it's not yellow. I ran out of yellow. I got to get some yellow. Surprisingly, there's not a ton that I like, but I will have 4 to 5 pages of bets in the FTN bet tracker. You want to see all the bets, guys. We'll have a couple 2-unit plays in there as well to kind of separate some of these other plays. But FTNbets.com/free. You get all that 3-day trial there. That's free. You can check it out. So Shot props. The secondary page is a game changer. It really is. So good. Okay. So Boone Jenner. I'll try to go in order of guys I like here. Boone Jenner, Cole Caulfield, Carter Verhaeghe is juice, but I like the 3 shots from Carter Verhaeghe. Konechny. Kyrou, Brock Nelson, Tarasenko, Frank Vetrano, Tyler Bertuzzi. Can't read my writing on that one. Oh, John Carlson. John Carlson's one of my favorite ones. John Carlson, Natchez, Kucherov. Those are kind of the Kreider. That's pretty much it in my pool for shot props. I mean, there's obviously a lot of other plays there. I did mention Cole Caulfield, I think. For assist props, I think there's some value here with Bergeron plus 135, Caulfield plus 140, Pavelski plus 130, Ryan O'Reilly plus 166, Eichel is plus 100, Jack Eichel is plus 130. And then we have sides I like, the Habs, the Rangers, taking the chalk on the Golden Knights and the Bruins to win on the puck line. I may just put those guys in a parlay so we can get plus money for those 2 teams. I like the over between Florida and Dallas. I like the Devils tonight, and I like San Jose and Detroit over 6. Can't read the writing means always just scribbling. I am always just scribbling, actually. I can never read my writing. What the heck is going on?
There's no human being that can read all this stuff.
No.
I have the worst handwriting on earth.
Same game parlays, the Habs top line plus 210, Kirby Dach, Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, Dallas's top line plus 190. Just guys, just to have a point, Rupe, Hintz, Robertson, and Pavelski plus 190. Jesper Bratt and Jack Hughes to have a point plus 105. Vegas's top line in Stevenson, Stone, and Eichel plus 175 to have a point. Detroit's top line, this is a juicy odds here, plus 280 for Detroit's Bertuzzi, Larkin, and Raymond. Hurdle and Meyer plus 110 for a point. And then for goal scorers, I mean, EY's given up a ton. I don't think I need to give up a whole lot here, but I got Marchand to score for the Bruins, Cole Caulfield for the Habs. I also like Kirby Dach for the Habs and Boone Jenner for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Jason Robertson and Carter Verhaeghe in the Dallas and Florida game. I'm going to bypass the Calgary and Tampa Bay game. I like Kucherov in that game. New Jersey, Jack Hughes. A long shot would be Igor Sharangovich. And for Toronto, I like William Nylander. Maybe a little fun, Jason Zucker. We overpassed him. We talked about him and Raquel. Maybe Jason Zucker, a little fun revenge spot there for him. Decent odds against the Minnesota Wild. I just don't see a lot of goals in that game, even though the Penguins have had issues keeping the puck out of their net. The Wild are just really stingy at 5-5. Brock Nelson, Matt Duchene, and the Islanders in the Preds game. For the Capitals, Ovi, just because you said he's not going to do it, Ovi's going to score twice tonight. And then we'll get Vladimir Tarasenko to score.
He's not catching Gretzky.
I know. We get 2 goals tonight, though. Tarasenko for the Ducks, Terry and Pierre-Luc Dubois. Kreider for the Rangers, the Golden Knights. I like Marchessault, Jack Eichel, and then Tyler Bertuzzi and Timo Meier. I also like Carlson shot props as well. No Panthers players for a point. Yeah, that's a good one. It's just a lot of these guys are 2.5 or 1.5 points. So just I'll do one quickly here for you on the way out because you were late. People are actually still hanging out. Tyler's like, no, just end the show. Just end the show, guys. Enough already. I'll give you a Florida Panther because I do like the over in that game. So we will see. This is what I'll do. It's just, oh, wow. You're getting Barkov for 1 point. It's just Kachuk is 1.5. And I don't like the 1.5. So let's go Barkov point for Hagee point. And let's add Kachuk for an assist. This is where it gets tricky when you start adding an assist. You could just go Barkov and Verhaeghe are plus 120 for a point each. If you wanted to add Ekblad for a point, you can get that up to plus 250. I think that's pretty good. If you want to just take that top line, you add in Kachuk for an assist, plus 220. I know you like to get greedy, Am the Artist, with like 10 to 12 blank parlays. I would say Barkov and Verhaeghe at plus 120 is pretty solid. If you want to add Dallas's top line in there, and then you get Barkov and Verhaeghe, that'd probably pay like 3 to 1. I think that's pretty good. I think we'll see some offense between the Panthers and the Stars. This is what Florida does at home. They create offense. All right. We're out of here. EY, thank you. Tyler, appreciate you. Just the questions keep coming in, right? Any other revenge goals today other than Jason Zucker? I don't know. Like if there's anything. Mason Marchment. That's right. We called that one. Mason Marchment. Revenge.
I didn't call that, but I did bet on it because you said it.
I think I called that one. Yeah.
I needed to add another goal scorer to my list. I didn't have enough, so I added him.
Mason Marchment. You want I don't know, Blake Coleman. Is he in the lineup? Is he doing things lately? I don't think so. Against Tampa. That's one. Other ones off the top of my head, I don't think there are any that I can just think of as of right now. Phil Kessel, there's one. On the way out, there's one. Phil Kessel against his former Arizona Coyotes squad.
Last thing for me, Pasternak, Matthews, Eichel, three-way parlay to all score tonight.
Oh,
boom.
Baby. We could go all day long. We're out of here. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate you, dude. Have a good one. Good luck on the ice, guys. Reach out if you have any more questions. Cheers.